think at some point, and if you've never been in this position, I'm so happy for you. When you're desperate, you try anything,
Mhm.
you know? I live in Los Angeles. I had access to a few things, but
Yeah.
it really started to kind of go down a rabbit hole when I would talk to people about, like, I don't know why this isn't working. And they're like, well, you could try. I have this friend, she does this type of healing. I have this friend who does like Rolfing was another one, which is more fascia and soft tissue. I have another friend who does body work. When I first started going to him, I understood about like 30% of what he was saying. And now I feel like I'm understanding maybe 50%. Like I've started to, it's just the language is very, these are concepts when you're not exposed to it, it's really hard to wrap your brain around. But yeah, I
Yeah. It
tried.
was like you talking 3 minutes ago.
Exactly. That
I
for
was
most
like,
they were like, yeah, when you start getting exposed to it, you're like, "Oh, this makes sense." For some people talking about, like, emotional regulation and healing, those words mean nothing until you start to dive into it, and I feel a lot of these Eastern practices, it's really hard to wrap your brain around,
right.
like, certain like, the channels in my body, and I can now feel when I get certain types of, acupuncture done. I'm like, "Oh, I feel it in, like, the end of the channel in the top of my head and the bottom of my foot or in my hand," and people are like, "That's wild." I'm like, "Yeah." And during my period, I feel the points even like it's like these wild, wild things that I never thought, but once you start to see it, you can't unsee it. And
Yeah.
once it starts to like help and benefit, it's just the like most powerful thing ever.
So we'll go into like your I don't know if it's an app or website.